What's up, guys? And before the video actually does start, I want to say I'm sorry. I did have 2 Advanced Warfare gameplays. I had 2 domination games, but I actually had to cut the gameplay, the second domination gameplay, because the HD PVR made it really retarded looking. It was all glitchy, it was super laggy, and I couldn't use it. So you guys are going to see Battlefield Hardline gameplay, and then you guys are going to see some Advanced Warfare gameplay in the beginning. Like I said, I'm sorry, guys. I didn't want to record another gameplay. I had a bunch of gameplay backed up, but unfortunately, a lot of it, like I said a few videos ago, a lot of it's all messed up and glitchy and retarded. So I'm working on getting another not a PVR, but an HD Elgato, or an Elgato 60 HD or Elgato HD 60, whatever it's called. I'm going to be getting that. So hopefully I can get that, if not, soon, because I'm going to see if my mom will get it for me. But if she doesn't want to get it, that's fine. It's 160 bucks, so obviously most parents aren't going to want to buy you that type of thing just for what I'm doing. And, obviously it's a little bit of a money just for, just throwing it for me using it. So if they don't want to buy it, that's fine. I have a job that I start back up in March. So during the winter I usually don't work, but in March I start working in. So like I said, I'm sorry, guys. I did want to have 2 Advanced Warfare gameplays, but my PVR did not want me to have 2 gameplays. So hope you guys do enjoy the video anyways. And like I said, sorry once again. I feel really bad for not having 2 gameplays. But thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you guys do enjoy. Peace. What's up, guys, and today I have some Call of Duty Advanced Warfare gameplay for you. The first gameplay you're going to see is some domination. I come in late and I get my butt smacked a little bit. I go barely even. I think I go like 8 and 8 or 9 and 8, something like that. And then the next game you guys will see another game of domination, but this game is drastically different. I go like 29 and 11 or something like that, 28 and 11. 2 different gameplays. And that's the skill-based matchmaking in this game for you. So, talking about that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about the reasons why I do, and the reasons why I do not like Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, and why you have not seen much of it on my channel. Personally, I'm not a big fan of this Call of Duty. Now, I'm not going to go as far as saying the game is terrible or really bad, really super shitty, anything like that, because the game isn't, absolute terrible, but there are some things in the game that make me want to not play it. Now we're going to start off with the good things about the game. So the first thing I'm going to say is the maps are good. The game's base maps, not including the DLC, because we're going to get to that later, but the game's base maps are good. I do like all of the maps. They're nice size, they play well. They have the 3-lane type system, most of them do anyways. Most of them have, a left way, a right way, and then a middle type of way that you can go. And I like that about the maps. I like the 3-way maps like that, the ones that are, there's random lanes to get other places. Just, those maps are too crazy, chaotic. I don't like those. Most of the maps on here are like that. I can't think of one off the top of my head that isn't like that. Most of the maps on here are exactly like that. That's how exactly I think all maps should be. Maybe you can make a few in the game that aren't like that, but most of them, in my opinion, obviously, other people may have a different opinion, but in my opinion, they should be like that. That's good. The score streak system. When Black Ops 2 made this, the points or whatever, for people who play the objective, for getting assists, you get points towards your kill streaks. Obviously, getting kills, all of that goes into getting your kill streaks, which makes getting kill streaks and going on streaks even better. I definitely do like that. The score streak is way better than the getting kills to get your kill streaks. Jesus, that made no sense. The next thing is the double jumping. Double jumping, that's something they add in Advanced Warfare. I think it's a cool idea. No other Call of Duty has done it. Something they added to it. I'm not a huge fan of it because I got to get used to it still. I'm only 2nd Prestige. I haven't played the game a whole lot, so I'm still kind of getting used to the double jumping, boosting around stuff. I get killed all the time because I could have double jumped and killed the guy, but instead I just stood on the ground. He double jumped over my head, killed me. My fault. Jesus, I cannot talk tonight. Some things that are good about the game. Those are the main things that are good. The rest of it, is pretty bad. So that's what we're going to get to right now, the bad things. The first and foremost thing is the lag. I play on the Xbox One, and I am directly connected from my internet, and I have 60 megabyte internet. That's 60 megabyte download speed, and I have like 30 up or something like that. So it's pretty good internet. Obviously, it's not Google Fiber or some other crazy internet that gets like 100 megs down and like 50 or 60 up. But I mean, 60 megabytes down is still a pretty good internet, and 30 up. And I'm directly connected, and on top of that, I'm in the same room as my internet router. So for me to be lagging at all shouldn't be, I mean, I can see a little bit of lag here and there, maybe somebody's host or something, because there is, this game is not fully dedicated servers. There are hosts sometimes. I can see some lagging there. But even when, it's on dedicated servers, which obviously I don't have the tools to tell, there is a way to tell. I don't know how to do it, but there is tools and stuff to tell who's host and if it's dedicated server or not. But I'm experiencing a lot of lag in the game. I don't know why. I'll be shooting at somebody, they'll just like skip across my screen, and then I'll be dead. It happens to me more often than than I really would like it to. That's one of the reasons I don't play. That's one of the bigger reasons. The other, there's three main reasons why I don't play. The lagging is the first one. The second one is the guns are not balanced. In the other Call of Duties, right off launch, most of the guns were pretty balanced. Ghost's launch was a little bit I think the Remington or something. One of the Ghost guns were like super crazy OP. That everybody was just running around with, but they got it patched, and those guns were pretty balanced in there. So after that, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, however, on the other hand, has some problems. Has some guns that need buffs, some guns that need nerfs, or not so much nerfs, but I mean, I guess it is a nerf, like a rate of damage nerf, or a rate of damage, oh my goodness gracious, a rate of fire nerf, or, so they don't have really good power, or, rate of, so they don't have really good close kills, time, or maybe, like a damage nerf, a tiny one, maybe something along those lines, like the BAL, that even got nerfed, and it's still, one of the best guns. The AK is one of the better guns. The ASM-1, like one of the best SMGs ever. Those are like the three top guns that I ever see. I see a KF-5 occasionally. I see an SN6, maybe, the variant, the elite variant of it. I see that every so often, maybe. Some other guns that are pretty decent, they're okay to use, I guess. I see a TAC-19 a lot more now, but those are like the only guns. There's like 7-8 guns in all the other categories, and they're not being used. Well, can't really say 7-8. There's like 5 or 6 that aren't being used in the assault rifles, and a 4 in the SMGs. You guys get it. They're not being used, and they really need a buff or some reason for somebody to use them instead of seeing the same 3 or 4 guns being used. And the last big reason I have is the skill-based matchmaking. Now, I don't want to sound like a crybaby because I'm always getting my butt stomped every other game, but before I didn't have to go into Call of Duty and have my tryhard panties on and have a full party to play in order to just go even. Now, every lobby I get in, if it's a public game, even if it isn't, or even, if I'm just messing around, going into a public game, especially a public, ranked match, that shit is crazy. Those guys go absolutely try hard. ASM-1, like crazy variants, rapid fire, foregrip, advanced rifling, they just go absolutely nuts. And, it's just really hard to get, a decent gameplay, coming from a YouTuber. Well, I'm not even really a YouTuber, just somebody that uploads videos to YouTube. I want the gameplays to be decent. I don't want them to be really, really crappy. And it's hard to do in Advanced Warfare. It's just, I don't know, maybe they could, before, I don't know what happened. Ghost and Call of Duty Black Ops 2, I think is when the matchmaking, or the skill-based matchmaking started. Those were fine. I got matched with people that, I would get, most of the time, I wouldn't go absolutely banana nuts crazy on people and get, like, 50-0 gameplays, but, I was able to get 20, 30, 30 kills in a domination, and like 15 deaths, 10 deaths. That's okay with me. Then a TDM, I was able to get 15, 20 kills and like 10 deaths or something like that. This game, however, the best gameplay I've had so far is a 37-2, and that was domination, and the game lasted the entire game. Like, went to round 2, and it lasted the whole thing all the way to the very end, and I still only got 37 kills. Now, if I was playing a different Call of Duty, I'd have probably got 40, 50 kills in that game, maybe even more. I don't know. I'm not going to complain about the skill-based matchmaking too much. Maybe that was just a way for people to not go into parties and just absolutely pub stomp anybody that went in. Guess that kind of makes sense. But for people like me that just play alone, solo, a lot of the time, I usually don't play with a party. It's me or me and one other friend that play. Maybe another person. We have me and my friend, and then maybe me and my 2 friends. So it's usually a 3-person party, a 2-person party, or me alone. Usually it's me, just me alone playing. So it's pretty hard to just go into a lobby now without seeing a bunch of freaking people being in a party and just absolutely murdering your soul, and you can't do anything about it because your teammates usually, well, they don't suck. Obviously, the matchmaking has to be all around the skill, but they just can't do anything. There's a whole party, they're all talking, nothing you can do about it. The next few things are just nitpicks and stuff that I don't want to see come back, or not really come back, but one of the things is something I don't want to see come back to a Call of Duty, and then the other ones are just kind of nitpicking on Advanced Warfare a little tiny bit. We're going to start off with the Havoc DLC. For the DLC, you get 2 ways to get it. You either buy the Season Pass for $50, or you pay the $15 for the DLC. Now, it came with a gun, which, I guess, okay, cool, it came with a gun. And then the maps weren't that great. Sideshow was just a terrible fucking sniping across the map game. Everybody snipes that map, and coming from somebody that doesn't snipe very often anymore, I can still do it, and obviously, like I said, I'm just nitpicking a little bit, but that map is just full of snipers. Can't do anything about that. Urban was super, super tiny. Obviously, most Call of Duty people like a smaller map, but Urban was just way too small for this game. If it was a little bit bigger, I wouldn't mind it so much, but it was just way too small. It was like Rust or something from MW2. It wasn't that. It was actually probably close to that. It was like a square thing, like Rust. There was a main center place. I don't know. It was too small. That's all I'm gonna say about that one. What was the other one? Drift? Was it called Drift? Yeah, that was the snowy one. That map was okay. It was one of my top maps in there. Core and Drift, I don't have too much to say about. Those maps were okay. But Sideshow and Urban was way too small. Sideshow, just crazy amount of sniping going on. Just long-range gameplay. Not my favorite thing, but, what are you going to do? Hopefully, the zombies was pretty cool, too. We're just going to go ahead and put that out. Although, it was a complete copy of Black Ops 2 Zombies, but it's there, so that's cool. At least they were listening to the community. The next thing is most of the Elite variants aren't even better than a lot of the Enlisted or Professional variants. I got a couple professional a couple Enlisted versions of guns that I have Elite, and the Enlisted versions are better than the Elite weapons, which I think is just ridiculous, because obviously the Elite versions of guns are harder to get in supply drops. So I think either they change the stats somehow of the Professional and Enlisted of some guns, because some guns just have some ridiculous weird thing going on where the Elite versions suck compared to the Enlisted and the fucking, Professional. Jesus Christ, I cannot talk or think of anything right now for some reason. I don't know what they would do about that. Maybe nothing. It's too far into the game now for them to even worry about that. But in my opinion, and what I've seen from some of my supply drops, they're not worth Elite. I just end up selling them for XP. The next thing is the threat grenades. Now, I don't see them too much in multiplayer. If at all any I see, but they're just something that I'm not a big fan of. I have been killed to a few of them, not killed from the grenade. But you know, somebody will just shoot a grenade in the room. I'm, you know, running through. I'm not even sitting in the room. I'm just literally running through it. And they end up killing me because they shot a threat grenade in there, and there was nothing I can do. And the last thing that I want to talk about is, I think this is getting patched, or at least I hope it's getting patched, is the system hack thing. When you use a system hack on somebody, your screen gets all like fuzzy or whatever, and it's just really retarded, and I don't like that. And for some reason, I always see people running system hack, and you know, it just happens way too often. So those were my 7 or 8 things that I did not like about Advanced Warfare, and the things that I did like about it. If you guys don't agree, that's obviously, it's your opinion, it's my opinion. We're all gonna have different opinions on the game. Leave down below what you guys think of the game, if you're liking it. Do you like the DLC? What guns you use the most? The gun that I use a lot is the AK and the ASM-1. I have used the Bale, but I have it Diamond already, so I just stopped using it. I have the AK Diamond too, but I just like the gun a lot, so I use it. But anyways, the gameplay is going to be wrapping up here soon. I do hope you guys did enjoy the video. And like always, rate, comment, favorite, subscribe, all that jazz. Follow me on Twitch, ASJX Scopes Gaming. What else? Anything else? No, that's really it. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.